All right, welcome everyone. G-Man here for another video from Views from the Stands, and we got our Week 3 recap for college football. We're going to be again recapping and reviewing the games that we discussed in the preview show. We'll also be going over the AP poll for Week 4, and then as always, we're going to go across the country for some recruiting updates, guys. So let's get into it. We got a juicy one here, and let's start off with the Arizona Kansas State game on Friday. And Kansas State wins 31-7. Disappointing fashion, in my opinion, on Arizona's end. I mean, you got T Mac, no Fida. I have high regards for them, or have been, and they're just lowering down. So yeah, you got to find ways to game plan it, find ways for him to distribute the ball, and they just couldn't do it. Next one here was a shellacking here, 42-10. Alabama goes to Wisconsin, Madison, and wins. Like I said, 42-10. TBD, Tyler Van Dyke did get hurt in the first quarter early on. Looks like it's going to be probably an ACL injury. We'll find out this week. But yeah, that definitely kind of soured things and just didn't bode well for the Badgers. But I mean, I would say just real quick. I mean, they had some positives. I'd say. I mean, from the old line standpoint, I thought they did fairly well for the most part. All right, next one here. What was a freaking slugfest? LSU versus South Carolina. LSU wins 36-33. They do not cover. They were down 17 at one point, but they fought back, made the adjustments, and they beat South Carolina. Sellers, the QB for the Gamecocks, he did not play in the second half. I'm pretty sure he's hurt, from my understanding. So I think that definitely changed the momentum, the flow, the game, just everything. So yeah, huge win for LSU, and then they move on next week. Next one here. Wow, I'm gonna be honest. I really thought we weren't going to be talking about this one in terms of who won, right? I thought FSU was going to get it together. Clearly, they have not. And now FSU is 0-3 after losing to Memphis 20-12. As you can see, I'm shocked. I'm just yeah. This is first team in college to hit the under in the win totals. Their over under for wins was 9.5. Third straight loss, right? They only have 9 more regular season games. So yeah, that sucks. It sucks. Tough times right there in Tallahassee. I'm sure they'll overcome this, and I mean, hopefully they can just get 6 wins. Try to get 6 wins and go to a bowl game. All right, next one here was a close matchup, and something that I predicted: Missouri versus Boston College. This is a home game for the Mizzou Tigers. Boston College traveled to Mizzou. It was a close game. Spread was like 14-15.5. I definitely thought this was going to be a closer game. Boston College can dictate the pace, the clock, and then honestly, Mizzou just hasn't played anyone up to this game, right? I mean, they were played like Murray State and Buffalo. Didn't give them any points, which is still impressive, but I think it was fair to say that they were going to give up some points. So huge win though, still for them, able to come back, fight some adversity, and yeah, good win for them. All right, another game here is I'll be honest. I think we should have seen this coming. I understand the first 2 games, but this is just a rivalry game. I think rivalry games, they really bring the best out of teams. They also bring the worst out of teams. But I had a feeling that they were really going to put on them, and as you can see, 49-14. Not much else to say. Good win for Oregon, and yeah, kudos to being back to what everyone thought you guys were. Next one here, Oklahoma versus Tulane. Oklahoma wins 34-19. This is pretty much a close game throughout the whole game. I mean, it was a 1-score, 2-score game, kept going back and forth, back and forth. Tulane just couldn't get over that hump. So, but yeah, shout out to Oklahoma. They got a huge game this upcoming weekend, which we'll talk about on our preview show. Next one here, Texas A&M at Florida. Texas A&M wins 33-20. And I gotta say, I think Texas A&M has their quarterback, Marcel Reed, redshirt freshman. He was slinging it. He was composed, moving the ball, distributing it. scoring. I mean, what else can you expect? So, especially on the road, definitely I'd say still a pretty hostile environment. I'm sure fans, excuse me, aren't as hyped, but still, I mean, it's still Florida, Gainesville, the swamp. So we'll see. But also, little rumblings on this game. Sounds like Florida could be starting the kicking the tires on firing Billy Napier. We'll see. But if so, my prediction here, you heard it first, Lane Kiffin. I think it just makes too much sense. I know a lot of people are saying it out there. Florida, better resources, better program, better fan base, better base recruiting area. Just everything is better, in my opinion, than Ole Miss. All right, next one here is the Apple Cup, Washington State versus Washington. And Washington State, man, wins this game 24-19, gets the W. Looks like they've been playing this at Lumen Field, which is basically in Seattle. So this is basically a home game for Washington, even though it's not at Seattle Stadium, right? Washington State is in Pullman, so pretty fascinating that this is a neutral site venue now moving forward for this rivalry. But yeah, shout out to Washington State and the Cougs. All right, next one here, and yep, this is the last one here before we move on to the AP poll. I mean, so Buffs won 28-9. Good win for them. I think they needed it more than the Colorado State. Yeah, I would say so, just from a national standpoint. But I'm very disappointed to CSU, Colorado State. I mean, all the trash talk you guys had on this team, you're going into this week and all whatnot, and y'all suck. I mean, that's just plain and simple. I'm very disappointed to watch, and yeah, just gotta do better. Gotta do better. All right, AP top 25 poll for week 4, guys. I mean, I only have a few things. It's minimal, I think, in my opinion. First off, Texas absolutely deserves to be the top team. They are the number 1 team. Georgia, I think they deserve to be 3. You can make an argument for 4, in my opinion. And then Ohio State should slide up 1. You can make an argument that Alabama could slide to 3, falls to 4. If not, I'm fine with them at 4. I think Tennessee is actually a top 5 team. I love Ole Miss. I think that's what's hard about this. Yeah, Miami should be ahead of Missouri. USC should be in the top 10. And I mean that's really it. I mean, my issues are, I would say, the front and just kind of how it's ordered. But at the end of the day, these are just polls for us to talk about. They really don't mean much until we really get to the college football playoff bracket and those rankings. So. All right, guys, we're going to go through a few some recruiting updates. One of them we did mention on the preview is just kind of a reminder, and it's going to be him. We're going to start off with Jerome Miles. Again, Utah wide receiver. He is going to be committing this Wednesday, September 19th. It's a reminder, and it looks like it will be the Trojans, so stay tuned on that. Next one here, Peyton Joseph, interior lineman, verbally committed to Florida State. Right, Florida State's got issues right now, being 0-3, so on and so forth. But he's still shutting his commitment. He's locking it down. He's staying committed to that staff, and I applaud that. I mean, you're definitely gonna have when schools get into this type of situation, most of your class is gonna stick. Right, there's definitely gonna be a handful of those kids where they're like, man, all right, let me flip. Right, don't mean to I guess shine a light on this kid, but Myron Charles, he was a former FSU commit. I mean, there could be a possibility, right, with how they started. That was a factor why he decided to flip to Texas. So just kind of using that as a comparison, an example. Next one here, Elijah Melendez, linebacker, 6'2", 230. He is a former Miami commit. He did commit again like last week or so. He commits to Auburn. So Auburn's, I mean, they are. Their play hasn't been the great on the field, but they're definitely killing it off the field with recruiting. And yeah, this is a big get, in my opinion, for them. So, all right, next one here is Michael Skinner, tight end. He, as you can see, decommits from Cincinnati. Watch out for South Carolina. There's already a few predictions out there, honestly, that I'm seeing and I'm hearing. And yeah, this will be a big get for South Carolina. And then lastly, he's going to be a 2026 kid. Zealous Hicks, safety out of Georgia, Charlton. Carlton, excuse me, Juju Lewis's teammate, Arnox's teammate. So he commits to Texas over Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, and USC. I know a lot of SC fans out there were getting on Hayes for adding on USC. What I can say is we offered the kid, we were talking to the kid, and I would say we are going to be an option when it comes down to it. So I wouldn't, don't get too into the over USC stuff when these kids are a year to 2 years out, right? Like you gotta stay in the current class, and then that I definitely agree with you guys having an issue. So all right, guys. Well, if you guys enjoyed the recap for week 3, we'll have our week 4 preview later this week. And guys, enjoy your fabulous Monday and week, man. Peace.